We the 0-1 Lakers. We about to dog walk these bitch ass niggas, man. LeBron and his girls, nigga. The Heatles with
yeah. So we are bringing the 2000-2001 LA Lakers into the 2012-2013 NBA season, and I feel like there's a lot of comparables here when we're looking at the differences between the era that the Lakers were actually in and this era. The pace is like exactly the same. League average pace, slow as fuck.
Yep.
So, hold on. See if I can go down here for a second. Yeah, so average pace is 92. So Lakers would be dead center, I think. Once again, which this has happened a few times now.
Yep. That was 96 season, I think, was the same pace, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one. I just put that one out. Okay, so they would be. Yeah, it is. It is. It's pretty comparable to 95-96 because yes, they're at 91.7. They fall right with these Celtics.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, there's 261 teams, but I feel like I don't know. Where do you have this Laker team in terms of wins and losses? Because I don't know. I think there's a good opportunity for them to be potentially the best team in the league. But I want your opinion before I say anything.
I personally think that they're the best team in the league. Personally.
Even in the more competitive Western Conference.
Yeah. Because you talk about this all the time, right? That 2010 finals was the last time of the traditional like lineup, right? And we starting to get more towards like the small ball here. Like you don't have these great centers, and Shaq would already have eaten up in the 2009 season. You were thinking that with him in 1992. This is prime Shaq. Food. Everybody hungry. He's gonna destroy in this league, and he's just gonna be too much of a problem.
So let's look at the most points per game at the center position. I definitely spelled position wrong. I don't care.
I promise you, it's not. If it's more, it might be 20. 20 points might be maximum. 22 maybe max. Actually, 22.
NBA. So Brook Lopez had the most points per game by a center with 19.4 per game.
Mm-hmm.
Brook
Lopez has been dominating the league for 10 years, man.
There's no one in this season. There's nobody in this season averaging 20 and 10. Nobody. 0 people.
Well, yeah, because Brook Lopez just showed that the highest center was 19,
and he's averaging just under 7 rebounds.
Yeah.
Like he was like Tim Duncan is the closest, and he's like a dinosaur at this point.
Exactly.
He's approaching dinosaur level.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like Tim Duncan had a hard time with Shaq when it was prime Tim Duncan winning MVPs. Yeah. So imagine Tim Duncan, old man Tim Duncan. That's gonna be a problem. It's gonna look like literally. I think I might have like explained this as it was happening, but it's gonna look like a bear just harassing someone. Like Shaq is gonna just be eating Tim Duncan alive. It's gonna look like an old man just got the shit beat out of him for no reason. Like that's what it's gonna look like.
So give me the win total in the West.
Oh, sorry.
Despite the controversy.
My bad.
Despite the controversy, we gotta always remember that Shaq and Kobe were at odds in the season. We sound like a broken record, but it's important to note because it's a very important part of this team.
62 and 20. That's what I'm going with. 62 and 20.
I can't really hate on that at all because I would probably do similar. I don't think they're getting to 66. I think that's a lot, but I think 62 and 20 is very realistic, especially because outside of the Spurs, all these teams here are like becoming something that they're going to be at a later point in history, or they're past their time. Nobody's in the sweet spot.
Yeah. That is true. Yeah.
Nobody.
The great. Well, the crazy part about the Spurs is the very next year, it's like beautiful, like magic, the best chemistry you probably ever
But
seen
they had
in
some of that in
basketball.
this period of time. I think sometimes that gets lost in the sauce because
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. Well, they were just so much more determined the next year. I think that's why it gets lost in the sauce. But
yeah,
they definitely did. Like
but it was
the
there at this
system didn't
point.
change. Yeah, like it's not like
Yeah,
they went from one. Like it's they. I think they brought mostly all of the guys back too. So it's like it's not like it was literally almost like a run back.
right.
Which that's another
Yeah,
thing. Like
very much so.
if you get to run it all back together and you already have that 2 years straight chemistry like that, it gets very dangerous. But the Spurs, yeah, like the thing with the and this year's Miami was Ray Allen with the Heat next year in 2014.
Yeah, in 2012,
He
13,
was
I think
okay, yeah, because
he's
he
there
did the
for the second
2013. No,
championship.
I
He
know
hits the
this
shot.
year. Yeah, no, he hits the
Oh,
shot
last
this year.
year?
I'm
No.
talking about
Last
next
year
year.
he's not.
No,
Last
next
year, no.
year, 2014. I meant.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, I'm
I'll
curious.
double check.
I think
Double check.
there must have been someone who left. I know Wade gets diminished and stuff like that. And that's why the
No,
Spurs
that's what
beat
it
them.
is. It's the team kind of falls apart in terms of all. Look at
Yeah,
all these guys' experience. This is
yeah,
the issue right here. This is their
yeah.
whole core. This is the
There's a
entire
gap. Yeah,
roster.
yeah,
There's a massive. This goes from like being one of the most contemporary teams to one of the older teams in the league very quickly.
yeah,
That's why LeBron jumps to the youth in Cleveland
yeah,
that following year.
yeah, for sure.
That's what happened. It's a big difference between this season and the year before, but that team got to the playoffs strictly on the will of LeBron being a savage.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But this the I think the Laker team definitely won't hit the 66 win mark. I don't think. I think the reason the Heat were able to do that too is because at this point the East is not that strong at all. Like they
Right. So
really
that's why I think
yeah
it's important to note that the West is significantly stronger. They do
hmm
have some weird ones. They do have one of my favorite all-time teams as the Denver
yeah
Nuggets,
yeah
team with no superstar but was so dominant at home. They had one of the best home records in the league. I think the best home record in the league.
yeah
Uh, you got the beginning of Lob City Clippers. This is what I'm saying. The beginning of Golden State, like they're not where they're
yeah
going to be at all yet. Like,
yeah
but they make a little bit of noise. I think in this playoffs or the next playoffs. But Curry's
yeah.
there right now.
Yeah, and this
Um,
Laker team, that's Kobe just had his Achilles rupture at the end
right.
of the season, so they weren't, yeah,
Yeah. This is the Dwight season on the Lakers, right?
yeah, yep.
Yeah.
I was thinking this could
Uh,
possibly be a team that we do as the first rounders for this Laker team. That might be really fun.
there's options. It's just
What
the
a
only
what if?
problem is it's just
Yeah.
not one of the best teams at all in the West.
Oh no, of course, but it would just be more so fun because Shaq gets to beat the shit out of Dwight some more. But you know, that's always
I can't
the
I can't deny that.
yeah.
But do you see any stats changing for Shaq and Kobe and the Lakers? Because I kind of see it where we were at in '96, where you can't really mess with the stats. The pace is exactly the same,
Yeah, yeah. I think
and I think their stats are already significant enough in this era.
Yeah. What I would say though is I think now that advantage that you gave Shaq, like, cause the thing with just in that 2009 era, like there was at least defensive big men. Now I don't think he has big men to even like counteract them. Like if Brook Lopez is the best big man they got, Shaq could average 40 a night, like legitimately. Like I'm not giving him 40, but like. Yeah, let's look at this. Yeah,
So
Tim
as I
Duncan was
said,
the
Tim
best. Yeah,
Duncan was the best defensive center in this time. Then you have
Roy Hibbert.
the legend of Roy Hibbert, the absolute legend, the man. The He went from being an all-star and relevant in the league to being out of the league overnight because
Yeah.
of what they did to the 3-point shot. Like, and
Oh
how
yeah,
a lot of these
100%.
guys that could be
Because he
said
was
about.
just more so like he would be like a rim runner kind of dude, right? Like where he
Yeah,
is just pick and roll with him, and you try to give him like an alley, and he plays good
but he's
defense.
mainly defensive. He's just the
Yeah,
paint anchor.
yeah,
He is a worse version of what Rudy Gobert is now. But you see
yeah,
Rudy Gobert every playoffs get schemed out. That's what happened to
yeah.
Roy Hibbert.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened to him. Joakim Noah, another guy on that list. Solid defensive center, but no jump shot. No jump shot. You see you later.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a lot of these guys. A broken back Dwight, who was the defensive player of the year years running before this, but that back injury changed him, and Kobe
DeAndre Jordan was a highlight
ridiculing him.
reel in this era.
Yes,
DeAndre
so this
Jordan
is the
was a
beginning of
highlight
Lob
reel.
City.
Yeah.
As I was saying
Was
before,
this the
you have
Brandon
Bosh in
Knight
the
one?
top 10. I don't know if that's this year, but it's in this era for sure.
Yeah, it's around that. Yeah, for sure.
That
might be this year. I think it might be.
I'll look it up. It'll be on your screen, regardless of what year it is at this point. It'll be on your screen.
Yeah. See that massacre. Yo, they be careful because YouTube might like demonetize us for the murder on camera. Just bleep the
for a
murder
split
part.
second, I thought you were telling me something serious there, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And then, oh yeah, you're right, straight murder. But this is the one thing I wanted to know: at 28.7 points per game and 28.5, that's got to put them either winning the scoring title or number 2. So 28.7, is that exactly what Shaq has?
Yeah, I think so. Might be. I think it's 28.7
28.7 on the dot. So what's the totals? Now I actually, if Shaq's had a chance to win the scoring title here, this becomes slightly more interesting.
What I'm saying, see, this is where I think Shaq we could give Shaq the 30. I might be all right with that. More than that.
I think there's a case for that.
Because I really do feel like there's no competition at center. And like literally there's not like bodies to bang with him. It's gonna be like him playing with little kids now. Because imagine Shaq posting up Chris Bosh. Like that's what he would, you know what I mean? Like it's crazy.
You're right.
It's not fair.
These are the guys, I've said this, I've done this spiel before, but these are the guys at the center position. Tim Duncan, power forward.
Mm-hmm.
We got 2 true centers here. Noah played a little bit of forward, a little bit of center in college, like kind of a mix. 6'10", not very big, has no chance to really fuck with Shaq. Yeah. Garnett, power forward. Okafor, Dwight, again, under 7-foot centers. DeAndre Jordan, true 7-foot center. Al Horford, power forward.
Yeah.
Like Chris Bosh, power forward.
Hibbert and Gasol, I could see like at least putting up some like resistance, but even so,
Noah
like
being competitive, both, but like small.
maybe if Memphis is someone they see in the playoffs, I could see that being a little bit more of a interesting series or something. But in reality, like they're not gonna see Indiana and that much. They're only gonna see them 2 times a year. And they're seeing Memphis 3 times a year. Other than that, he's destroying every other center. And I think he's destroying them too, but like he's probably destroying them a little less.
So you got him for 30, and then
he might. I might. Give me 32 and 13 for Shaq with 2.5 blocks.
All right,
and he's shooting like 60% for sure.
Yeah, there's no way he's not shooting 60. Yeah. That we completely agree on.
Yeah, he might be shooting like 67 because I think DeAndre Jordan shot like 68% or some crazy shit during this season.
I just don't.
Yeah.
The only reason I don't do that because the record is Wilt. I think no, it's definitely not Wilt anymore. It'll be underneath me, but it used to be Wilt at 72%, and it was just because he brought his volume way down. Most of the time, the guys like DeAndre Jordan, like that, Wilt Chamberlain. Yeah. It's like they take 10 shots a game and they make 7 or 8 dunks.
Yeah, no,
and they call it a day. Yeah. I just don't know. To say Shaq's going to get above 60 is hard for me. It could happen. I could see a universe where that happens, especially where we got LeBron averaging 56.5 and, doing what he's doing with the 30 points and the average of 60. I think Shaq's got a chance to do the same fucking thing for sure. But I would still have Shaq at 30 and 13. I feel good with that. But if we looked and it was 32, I wouldn't be floored. That would kind of depend on free throw shooting for me because we know he's getting to the line more. That's the other part. If he was getting crazy hacked in a more physical era,
yeah.
In this era, I don't know how he doesn't get like, what's the highest free throws per game here? What do we got? Let's see.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Per game. Let's see. I think it's probably Dwight, but I'll see. It
might be. Might be Braun.
It's Harden.
No.
It's Harden.
I didn't know. I didn't know if Harden was in Houston yet. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, he's there. I think this is year 1 for him. But 10 free throws a game for Harden, 9.5 for Dwight. Shaq got 12, I believe, in this season. 13. So chalk him up for 15 a game.
Oh, you think 15?
That's what gets you to 32. That's what'll get you to 32. Is that?
Gotcha.
That I could see. So now, you know what? I agree. I'll take 32 and 13.
Throws. Okay.
Yeah.
How much rebounds do you think he's averaging?
12.7 is probably pretty close to where he's at. I would put him for 32 points, 13 rebounds, same thing. I think we're on the same page.
What's the field goal? What's the average field goal percentage in this era, 2013 versus 2001? I'm curious.
So for teams, let's see.
Yeah.
For total teams and everybody,
I bet 2013 is more efficient.
So it's 44.3% in 01, and then we got, let's see, I think you're probably right. Actually, 45. A little bit more. Cut hair more.
It's not. Yeah,
45.3. Literally 1 percentage better.
13. Yeah, I think keeping him at 13 is fair.
Yeah. Because the rebounds per game are probably pretty close to equal too, right? So 42.1 in 13, and then we got 42.5. Yeah, so it's very similar. That's what I'm saying. It's eerily similar, these eras. So I really don't think the only thing that's going to make his Shaq in particular, his points per game go up is going to be the free throws. Like he might if he keeps the same percentage but he gets fouled a little more, now you could see him racking up a couple extra buckets there.
Yep.
I don't know. What do you think, Lynn?
So I thought that I agreed with the original statement or assessment that they would just average the same amount because they were averaging so much to begin with, and the fact that the pace was very similar to their season that they actually played in and got those numbers.
So you think 30 or 32? Because I went 32. Russell went 30. They originally averaged about 29. It was 28.7 for Shaq and 28.5 for 30. All right.
30.
Cool.
Yeah, I changed it to 32 though because I think with the extra free throws, there's no way he doesn't get that. And then with 62 wins, right now we're looking at MVP, and I think it's a real. I do not think this is the outcome. I'll just say that.
Yeah, he's not almost unanimous anymore.
Leaves with unanimous. Sure. I think it's a way closer battle.
He's not unanimous, by the way, just so you know.
Let's go back a couple of years.
Because some idiot, we know the idiot, freaking gave Melo one MVP vote, which was crazy.
I think the tally looks more, it needs to be more split. I can't find a good season where it's really split hard. I'd have to go. I don't think it's going to
be split like 50-50. I still got Braun probably like 80-40 or whatever, something like that.
So you have it like that? Like last year?
80-40. No, 80-40. I think it's going to be between Shaq.
Braun. Well, I don't think that would make sense. It would be be closer to like 80-30 maybe if he had all the other votes. It would be like 80,
no, it's 120
80,
votes.
32. Okay, yeah, you're better at math. Who am I kidding?
Sorry. It might be 8. What it would be, it was 80-39-1 because the stupid idiot that gave Melo
a vote. Worthless scumbag. Yeah,
so that's what's gonna
be. Maybe no. Shaq's getting that vote. Fuck you, Melo. You're not getting a vote in my world. It's not happening. Suck my fucking balls. I think Shaq for sure is top 2.
He top 2, not 2, but whatever.
But this is the thing. If LeBron, LeBron has his MVP. Name some of the reasons.
Me?
Yeah.
All right, the team won 27 straight. That broke a.
That's the biggest record. One. That's the one that'll probably get him over the top. But let's go.
He's also 66 wins, so that'll be 4 wins over the Lakers. Sure, it's in a weaker conference, but still the case.
It is in a weaker conference.
He also doesn't have Kobe Bryant, averaging probably 28 or 29, whatever, a game.
No, but he has a more talented team, I would say, for sure.
Surrounding him? You're saying?
Yes, 100%.
Sure, but
100%.
Everybody knows the second superstar matters more than like he doesn't have that much more talent around him that makes him that makes it.
This
that
is
much
where
of a,
you and I are going to fundamentally disagree because I hate this fucking Laker team. I think this Laker team is so shitty. Besides Shaq and Kobe, and there's a reason why they had to put up more than half of the team's points. It's because the other people could not do it. LeBron, there's lots of guys. Shane Battier can hit 7 threes randomly. Like, there's a lot. Like, Chris Bosh is starting to step outside. There's just more. I just think there's more talent, a lot more talent on that Heat team. And Dwayne Wade's still giving you 21, 5, and 5 with 2 steals and 52% shooting. Like, he's definitely come down a step, and he's not Kobe. I'm gonna say that.
Yeah.
Like, but
I think just the Lakers having 2 A's though, like that makes it too difficult. Like having 2, like it's pretty much 2 LeBrons. Like in reality, this LeBron is legitimately a top 5 player all time. Like, sure. In my opinion,
so is this Shaq though. It could totally be argued.
Yeah, no, 100%. Shaq is one of those. Like in their peaks, I think when you talk about apex, like the best of the best, there's like there's only like a couple players that you put at that, like where it's like just completely scary to go against them. And Shaq and LeBron are 2 of those players. So
agreed.
And Kobe is like, we literally argued this as one of Kobe's apex seasons. So this is like having another guy that's, some people would say top 5 as well, maybe top 10 in other people's minds. In my mind, you know what it is, top 2, not 2.
I don't think I don't think people will have that same opinion as me. That 34-year-old Kobe Bryant, this could be his best season. I think that's a personal opinion that I don't know.
Yeah, and you watched that, and you also I remember you fanboying on the like that stretch where he would look like a Magic Johnson. I remember you. He
looked like Oscar Robertson, man. It was sick.
Yeah. Oh, and like for sure.
early '90s Magic Johnson, where he could score on anybody from the post, but if God forbid you come to double him, you're fucked. And previously, he was just shooting over those doubles, so it was so reassuring for me as somebody who was hating on him to see him make the right basketball play. Because I genuinely wasn't sure he could do it at that stage, being the guy with that mentality.
So you never gave in to when people would say Kobe could do that. He just chooses to. You never.
No, I never gave in to you. See, that's right.
Yeah. Because I would watch Kobe make those kind of plays, those passes, and I'm like, he has that shit in him. I watched so many games of him, so I'm like, I know he could do that. He just rather do this like that, and he's amazing at doing that.
Ironically, what I know now is he did it in 2001, which is why we're using this season. Like he absolutely did it in 2001.
Yeah,
and I think it shows, but.
And that's why it's good to learn about players' history, right? Because we knew that Kobe watched Magic. Like Kobe watched Magic a lot, so it doesn't make. It's not unusual. It's not unusual to see that he looked like he can play like Magic. You watched, think about it. Like you probably took stuff from Garnett that you liked and you added it to your game when you were playing.
Yeah, it's real
as a
weird
kid,
to
right?
say that because I'm not. I
you're pure
be
trash.
In the same discussion.
Trash.
No, you don't. I'll say it. There's no comparison between me and KG besides the fact that I like to shoot behind my head. That's about it. Fucking. But no. Steering the car back a little bit. The other reason, the thing I was hoping you would say is, LeBron has that streak of 30 points per game at 60% shooting. I think there's no way in hell Shaq doesn't replicate that. There's no fucking way that he doesn't at least.
I forgot that he did that in this season.
That matters a lot because there's one game where he went 13 to 14 against the Bobcats.
Yep,
it was part of the win streak, I think. And
what did he have a mask that day or something? Or maybe I might be misremembering that one.
I think that's also part of the streak is him having a mask.
Yeah.
During this period of time, but there's a couple of those. If we could pull up the streak real quick, there's a couple of those that I think. Shaq, because of the lack of competition that he's going to face, that we've talked about, as a great opportunity.
Yeah, he might be doing it at 70% a couple times.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's in play for sure.
Yeah,
that's 100% in play.
100%.
I think Shaq could absolutely do that in this season because of the lack of competition he's facing. Like, he's got the mastery of the game. I think I don't know. I'm very high on Shaq in this era. This is kind of what I was looking forward to the most outside of that Magic season. Yeah. Is getting to this era, because I've said this before on our show. I've said this over the years, and I'm going to say this again. We're going to look back on this period of time and go, there were some fun players, but this is a really weak era for the league. A really weak era.
Which one? The 2013 season?
After the last Lakers-Celtics championship. Yeah. Basically, the LeBron Heat era is a weak period of time for the NBA. It just is. Especially when we look at what happens in the next couple of years, like once Curry takes the leap, and then we got all these other nice centers coming in. Like, there's a lot more talent now, and the skill gap is even 10 years is big. Yeah. Like,
that's so interesting because it's happened throughout like almost every decade. Like these highs and lows that happen.
But if we're looking at 20-point scores, there are literally less than 10 20-point scores per game in this league.
Yeah.
How is that?
And just in case you guys are wondering, we're doing this in 2022 or 2023. Yeah. Damn, my bad.
Yeah, I was going to say
2023. Right. so that's why we're saying this now. We could be watching this 10 years later, and maybe this is completely different. But whatever.
Yeah, but I really feel like we're gonna look back and at this era the further we get away from it, because now we're 10 years away from this, which is insane. Yeah. And say that this was a fucking weak era. 9 20-point per game scores.
Yeah. Yeah, that is crazy. That crazy.
Smells like shit. Yeah. That's dog shit.
Because now it's like 40.
Yeah.
But it's also like
it literally is 40.
Different.
It's
like,
literally 40. Like, you're
the
not
rules
even wrong.
Isn't that significantly different. Like,
no, it's not
that much.
The skill is infinitely better.
Yeah.
Like, I'll get this year's per game just because I know you're right about this. It's got to be like 40. 42.
42, yeah.
42 players.
That's more than 4 times.
I'm not crazy. Yeah. I'm not fucking crazy, man. This league is not as good. It's just not. Lindsay, who do you have for MVP? For the league's most valuable player.
LeBron.
Do you think it's close?
I think it's not unanimous, or as unanimous as that is, I guess, anymore. But I don't know about how close it'll be, just because you always have the issue of them being the dynamic duo working against them.
Yeah, because I think Kobe's got a chance to be top 5 in MVP voting at that point too, because he's right behind Shaq to lead the league in scoring, and man, they would just decimate this era as a duo completely.
Yeah.
So I guess. Go ahead.
Who's the best player in the league in your opinion this year?
Shaq. For me,
you think
Shaq.
You think peak
Definitely.
Shaq is better than peak LeBron?
For this particular year, yes. I think maybe when we move a little bit down the line, I think it might be more of an argument, just because I don't know that the end of LeBron's Cleveland run is very impressive, and I don't know. Yeah. It's the combo of up here and physical, where I think he's got it up here right now for sure, but he's at his physical fucking peak. And I think the more cerebral LeBron gets about the game, the better he's gotten from this particular point.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
I think it's very close. I think this
definitely
is one of the,
close.
Yeah, the only other player in NBA history that I would like argue with is like Jordan 92, 93, Jordan, one of those guys, 91.
Yeah.
Like, that's another guy that you could put in this level of Shaq. It's definitely close though. Shaq was just so dominant in that era, and I think he's going to be even worse here. Like, it's like not
that's
even
the thing. Fair. That's what makes me say Shaq, honestly, is the fact that I really think he's going to completely eat. Yeah. Tim Duncan is your All-NBA first-team center. He's not a center. Yeah, I can't stress that enough. Yeah. The man does not play the center position. He's forced to play the center. Excuse me. He's forced to play the center position at age 36.
Yeah.
Because there's no good centers in the league.
Shaq's going to be by far the first, like, he's going to be unanimous first team center.
Unanimous.
Yeah.
First team center for me.
Yeah.
If it's I'd be fucking floored if it's anybody else.
Yeah,
now,
for sure.
Here's my question for you.
You have to be a complete hater. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's my question for you, my friend.
Yeah.
Do you have the balls to put 2 Kobes in the guard, or are you going to get rid of this Kobe, who I think is not as good as 01 Kobe? And I don't think
100% agree with you. 01 Kobe is definitely not as good as 2013 Kobe, but he's 100 times better than 2013 Chris Paul. So I'm sorry, there's going to be 2 Kobe's there. Baby, let's go. You know.
But I think do you really think that? You think this Kobe is that much better than 01 Kobe?
No, I think 01 Kobe is better.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah, no, did I say that that's no, I
might have
said that.
My headphone might have cut out.
Oh, okay, gotcha. No, yeah, 01 Kobe is better than this Kobe for sure, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think 01 Kobe, he probably messes up just as bad with Dwight in this, but I think he can do so. I think he can do so much more though. I think his team wouldn't be an 8th seed. I think he would probably be more like a 6th or a 5th seed maybe. Because I think defensively he could play
so much worse with Dwight. Oh my god! I'm just thinking about how immature he would be about it. He would try to fight him every practice.
Yeah.
He
after dealing with Shaq,
think that he's better.
And then he's like, "What? I have to deal with this?" And it's like half the talent. Fuck that. Like.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because you would know better than I would. But wasn't he calling Shaq during this point in time?
Yeah.
Wasn't they? Yeah.
There was times that
happening?
Shaq went to games and Kobe would dap him up and everything because he literally. This season, Dwight Howard made Kobe Bryant appreciate Shaq significantly more than he did previous to that. Like, he literally said it. Like, he said that. Like,
Dwight's reigning achievement from being on the Lakers, his only achievement.
Like, you got Kobe and Shaq cool again, motherfucker. You the man.
Dwight's crowning achievement is their mutual hatred for Dwight ended the beef and mended fences.
Yeah, enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's how Kobe and Shaq thought. They said, "Fuck this dude. This guy's a whole."
Especially with those 2 idiots. Especially with those 2 guys. Oh my god!
Don't call my dad an idiot though. Like,
yeah, he was.
Papa. That's Papa Bryant.
He had too much hate in his heart. That
Papa
fool.
Bryant, man.
Too much hate in his heart. But okay, we're good to do playoffs.
Yeah.
So, you brought up an interesting point that I really didn't think of, which is this team.
Yeah.
I kind of had it in my head. As Clippers, Spurs, and the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
Because I definitely want to see Westbrook and KD, excuse me.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do Lob City, and I think doing the Spurs is important for historical purposes. However, do you want to dive into the Laker madness? It is your choice. I will leave it up to you.
I think there's actually a bunch of choices, to be honest.
Okay, I'm listening.
I feel the Clippers thing. I feel what you were saying on the Clippers. At first, when I saw your 4th team, I'm like, why you put the Clippers? I would think it would be like the Pacers or the Knicks or something. But
we're in the West.
I remember West. Yeah, we're in the West.
Yeah.
So the Lakers has the drama, but we already did the Shaq Dwight thing. So I don't know.
True. And we did the Shaq Dwight thing where Dwight was at his peak. This is Dwight with a broken back.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So might not be, but Memphis is, to me, is
the
kind of
grindhouse.
interesting. Yeah, because you got Zebo and Gasol that are gonna be like their. I mean, I wouldn't call them twin towers, but they were like ground and pound like that team. I remember, and I feel like that'll be like the perfect team for because that's like this is like the definition of what a team looked like in 2001, right?
Yeah,
that's interesting. Yeah. That's really interesting. It's an interesting way of thinking about it.
And I think this Laker team has issues with Mike Conley. This was always an issue for Derek Fisher, like actual good point guards. And in 2001, Fisher didn't really have to go against like offensive point guards like that. So it wasn't as much of something that a team could take advantage of. And now I think he might have a little bit more issues, and that's how a lot of teams could attack the Lakers. So I feel like this will be a decent series.
Then you have this man there to try and lock up Kobe.
Yeah,
who Kobe said was his least favorite person to go up against, or one of his least favorite people to go up against. And they got Tayshaun Prince, a guy who's beaten a Laker team of this caliber.
Yep.
So he kind of, man, okay, you're definitely selling me on this. Because we're already kind of making the case. All right.
So
I'll play.
I think we
I'll
have
play
at
this
least
game.
3 teams that we could look at. I wouldn't really care about them against the Warriors now because
no, me neither. No, absolutely not. They're off the table for me.
Yep.
But and I don't personally care to see them against the Nuggets. I kind of know how that's going to go.
Yeah.
It's really these 4 right here. It's these 4. This would be the 4 I would look at. Do you care to see them against the Spurs? Because I do want to see I really do want to see.
They have to go against the Spurs. They're the finals.
Yeah, I think so too.
There's no way you mention the season and don't have anybody go.
But that's how I feel about the Clippers too. I don't think you can mention the season without talking about the birth of Lob City.
Yeah, but that was such a regular season thing. Like they didn't look like that in the playoffs. That's my only
they were
issue
ass
with
in
them.
the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think Memphis was this the season that Memphis went to the final? I mean, went to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah. All right. You're right. Fuck. we're gonna miss. Sorry, Lynn. I fought for you. We're gonna miss these Clippers historically because we're damn sure not bringing them up in 2017.
I was not trying to like hate on the Clippers.
You're
there.
fine.
I just felt like the Memphis Grizzlies made sense.
He's right. No, you're right. I was swayed. All right. So as we've previously said, we got who are we seeing in the actual playoffs? Because Rudy Gay is not part of this team come playoff time. He has got hurt. He only played 42 games this year.
Yeah.
So that means we're looking at Gasol, Conley, Zebo, Tayshaun Prince taking Rudy Gay's spot.
Crazy. Yeah.
And Tony Allen, which
That's
maybe
crazy.
is a more difficult matchup for the Lakers in particular with the defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tayshaun Prince, not the same guy he was. Like his defensive rating in his career has definitely been higher than 108 in the playoffs. Like it's been pretty good, especially for those Pistons years. Like he could play.
Yeah, Tony Allen's definitely going to be their best defender.
Right. As such. And Marcus Gasol down here.
I remember
They're
Marcus
definitely
Gasol was Defensive Player of the Year.
Yes.
That's another, yeah.
Even though second team All NBA in real life, not just because we put Shaq there.
Yeah.
But
no, you mean defensive, right?
That's what I said. Yeah.
Oh,
but he's also he's also second team All NBA as well.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. Because he's not better than Timmy D. That's crazy. How you not better than old ass Timmy D?
What?
Oh man.
That's what I'm saying. What's their playoff pace? Because
the grindhouse, so it's gonna be slow.
They are known as the grindhouse for a reason, but I wonder if they're slowest in the league.
Yeah. I mean, they only played. This you talking about the entire season? I would look at
the entire playoffs.
Playoffs.
They're 88.4 pace in the playoffs. Yeah. So the Lakers are, I think, pretty close to that. Actually, the Lakers are in the playoffs. I know it goes under 90. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
This is like the perfect kind of game that, like, exactly the game that the Lakers are. This will be like a nice.
Oh, it's 92. I take it back. It's a little bit higher.
Oh, they're slightly high. Okay. All right.
Yeah. That's so weird. They kept their pace like perfect. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Team defense of 97.9, and we got the Grizzlies with a team defense of 104.3, and there's still some 90s here, so that's not super fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're the 6th seed, right? It's not like they definitely weren't they weren't looked at as. With them getting to the Western Conference Finals was definitely like an accomplishment for them.
Yeah, they were the 5.
No one really thought that they were. Yeah, no one thought that they were going there. To be honest, like when
who did they? They upset the Clippers. I remember that. And then they upset the Thunder because I believe Westbrook gets hurt.
Yeah, he
I
does.
believe that's
and
what
Durant
happened.
was by himself. Yep, I remember that.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought it was gonna even me when looking at this season, I was like, I'm surprised that it wasn't OKC versus the Spurs because that was what everybody was really looking for. Because
right,
the last
and maybe
2
would have
years,
happened if Westbrook was there also, but who the fuck knows? It was weird because it was 1 year Durant got hurt, 1 year Westbrook, 1 year Westbrook got hurt. It was like back to back. But I got Lakers in 5.
Yeah.
I'll give the Grizzlies 1 game where they potentially shut down both guys and hold them to a low field goal percentage, but they don't have the offensive production to put that. You're right. This is the exact build of a 2001 team. Yeah, true. This is the exact build of a 2001 team. All the guys that are scoring 10 points a game are doing it on pretty awful field goal percentages. Even Marc Gasol, 45%. You're 7 feet tall. That's fucking embarrassment because he's not shooting threes yet. So
facts.
I don't know. I think they could do it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and against defense, like Shaq's not a bad defender. I would say in this league he'd probably look like a very, very good defender. At the center position. So it might even go worse than the 45%, which is crazy.
They have the most bodies to guard both Shaq and Kobe of all the teams we're probably going to name, I think.
Yeah.
Between Tony Allen, even later in life, Tayshaun Prince, Mike Conley, not a terrible defender, but none of these guys, you got to have somebody get you 20 a game, somebody.
Yeah, and my issue with this matchup is, remember the 0-1 Lakers in that playoff run, they played like a great team, right? Like Kobe knew his role. He did what he had to do during that playoff
100%.
run. And that's what makes us think like this season was the peak. It was really like a mix of these 2 seasons, but we say this one because you get both of them at their maximum potential, and then you got Kobe actually playing within the team, and Shaq also allowing Kobe to take advantage when he has to. Right, like against the Spurs, stuff like that. So here in this case, I feel like Tony Allen wouldn't be as bad of a factor because I really do think Kobe would make that extra pass rather than trying to force the issue.
Right, but if he overpasses, then they're in trouble because they do need him to get to 25.
Yeah, but
they need him to get to 25.
Like he's too tough.
I'm just saying he needs him to get to 25, and he needs him to get there on better than 42% shooting.
He's shooting 48%, dog. Stop playing with Kobe Bryant, man.
Against Tony Allen, 48%?
I'm going like 46. He's bringing them down 2 percentage points, but it's all right. Stop playing.
I said the Lakers in 5. I'm trying to find their series points per game because as a whole, they're 103.4. When the Spurs swept the Grizzlies points per game was 88. So 87.8 to be exact, but 88.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't think even with the Lakers not scoring as many points, they're still over 100. You got to get there. You got to get to 100 points.
Yeah.
If you can't get to 100 points,
Kobe and Shaq getting you 60, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
All the time. And even on them being bad, it's still 50. Because they're gonna get you 25 each, like especially Shaq. Grizzlies definitely have the only front court, right? Back court,
right? Yes, front court.
Yeah, front court.
Front court are the bigs. Back court are the littles.
Yeah, so they have the best front court to face Shaq, but it's still not gonna stop him from being able to score 25 to 30. I think he still can do that. And then Kobe, him getting 25, 20, whatever, and I can still see him getting you 8. Like every time they realize Shaq should take advantage of the series, especially this Laker team, they always allowed that player to take advantage of that series. That's why all the finals Shaq killed, all the Western Conference finals Kobe killed. It just worked that way. And in this case, I think Shaq has way more of an advantage than Kobe does because Tony Allen is probably the best perimeter defender in the league
right now. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
let's go to the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are shooting the least threes in 12-13, and they're making the least, and they're shooting the least.
Yeah.
I think that's a recipe for disaster because that's how this Laker team, I think, is going to get beat.
They're really an 0-1 team. That's like crazy.
Yeah. Lynn, who you got? How many games?
Oh, the Lakers.
Sweep or 5 games? What do you got? 6 games?
I think I'm going to go with the sweep.
Well, yeah, that's okay. I'm giving them 5 solely because Memphis was hard to play. And I could see them hack-a-shacking Shaq and just like maybe that being an answer and then Kobe having an off night.
Shaq out too. Like they could.
Well, Zebo's getting guarded by Horace Grant. No, 100%.
Yeah,
that's the matchup.
But you could still try to take
matchup.
advantage of matchups sometimes. And and Mark can too. Mark could pull Shaq out too. They both kind of have the same skill set.
But he's not shooting threes yet. Marc Gasol is not shooting.
No, I know. But even if you're pulling him out to the mid range, that's still like it's very helpful.
Yeah, let's look that up because I know that there's a point where he absolutely takes that next level in terms of shooting like that. But I genuinely don't know if it's right now.
Right in the middle, yeah. Because I think that's part of the reason he has the bad field goal percentage is because he's shooting jump shots.
So here's your distance. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're right. 100% correct. All these, it's very spread out in terms of shot distance.
Yeah.
So like jump shot, dunk, it's not as, it's more varied. So he's really all around interesting. Yeah. So here's your shot chart. More visual representation.
Yeah. And but just think about like threes, if he's pulling Shaq up in the key and stuff like that, like that's going to be, and Shaq can't just stay in the paint, you know? So it allows, I think it just, him being able to pull Shaq out like that is going to mess with the Lakers defense a lot because Shaq is like that anchor.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
You would always say, you know, if a guard's doing too good, you know, just let him go into the lane real quick and I bump him a little bit or you know, really put him on his ass.
My thing with that is, and I guess the further we get into this, that's going to come up more and more. At some point, you're going to get thrown out of the game for that. Like,
especially in this league
period of time. That's what I'm saying.
Remember Bynum? He got freaking flagrant 2 in 20. It was the 2011.
He elbowed the piss out of this guy in midair.
Yeah, Barea, JJ Barea.
Barea.
Yep.
Yeah,
and JJ Barea is a 5'9", 185-pound dude. Like that, maybe not even 185, maybe 170 pounds.
Would you agree that that's what Shaq's referring to when he says, "I'm going to touch him up a little"?
Yeah, 100%.
So then he's getting ejected. That's where
but he wouldn't do that.
I don't know if that
works. He probably can't. He probably.
Oh, he definitely would do it. He definitely would do it.
You think he would?
100%. He would definitely do it. He would definitely have racked up a bunch of ejections. Like especially, what if they called him like fat or something, or like hurt his feelings a little bit? Like
Shaq, I'm not saying this. I'm not. Yeah. Nah, I got your back, Shaq.
What if little JJ Barea looked up at Shaq and said, "You're nothing but a fat old bastard. Fuck you."
Oh my god!
Then he's getting elbowed out of the sky.
Than me, way lighter than me. I would be shocked. I'd be so scared if I was JJ Barea. I said that to Shaq and didn't run. Like I would need to run like immediately.
You know what, JJ Barea, you probably wouldn't say that because you're a nicer guy than I'm leading.
That's a fact.
I'll take it back.
He's probably said it in Spanish or something. But, all right, let's go. I think he's Spanish, right?
Very high likelihood.
I think so.
But all right. So
Shaq
yes, he is. He's
Spanish. Then you could probably say that. You could probably say that. Yeah. All right. So
Shaq would probably try to say something back to him.
I would think that we should, in respect to the Spurs, I feel like we should put OKC as the second contender.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right.
And
so let's look at this Thunder team.
Yeah, do we want to look at Westbrook being here, or do you?
Yes.
Or okay,
100%. Yeah, it's the same rules that we talked about when we talked about David Robinson.
Okay.
In the 90s when he was eliminated, but we used him anyways.
Yep.
And he did get to the playoffs. Like he got there.
Yeah.
He did get there. He wouldn't be in the second round, but he played a little bit in the playoffs.
Yep.
And he's about I'm going to say something and I want you to tell me true or false.
Okay.
Russell Westbrook in 2012-2013.
Just like,
Fucking Russell Westbrook.
No, just-
Russell Westbrook in 2012, 2013 is 70% of the player he's going to be. True or false?
Yes, I agree with that.
You think so? What do you think, Lynn?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair, I think.
Because he's obviously not at the triple-double monster that we're going to see. But he's got all the confidence, all the swagger, and most importantly, all the athleticism at 24 years old. Bouncing out of the gym. It's between him and Derrick Rose, who's starting to fall apart for most athletic point guard in the NBA. So
I think at this point, Westbrook is definitely the most athletic. Derrick Rose already had his ACL tear and everything.
You also have Thabo Sefolosha, a guy who I believe made the all-defensive team this year.
Yeah.
I think he did. I could be wrong, but let's check that real quick. Because I think he's either the. I think
He
he's
was
the
a really
second
good
team.
defender.
They sucked his dick. I was waiting for them to get rid of him, especially when Harden was there. I was like, just play Harden. Just play Harden at two guard.
Yeah.
Why are you benching this guy? Not that I thought he would average 30 a game, but just thought, he had something to offer.
Well, it made sense. He was like the Ginobili. Like that's really what they were trying to do. They were taking the.
Okay, so he was just off. He got votes for all defensive team, but he just missed it. So just to keep it real. But yeah, definitely the best defender in the starting five, I think. Yes. Oh, never mind. No, I'm lying because Serge Ibaka is here and he's all defensive first team. Ibaka. Yeah, 3 blocks a game. The only guy in the league to average 3 blocks a game, I've got to believe. Yeah, the only guy to do that. And yeah, this is when he was making a name for himself. Yeah, Larry Sanders, you remember that? He just quit basketball out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Crazy. Larry Sanders. R.I.P. Larry Sanders. You're still alive. But
damn,
R.I.P. to your basketball
almost averaged 3 blocks a game too. That's crazy. Shaq's averaging 3 blocks a game now. Now that I know, I thought 2.5. I didn't realize this. Shaq's averaging 3. There's no way old Timmy D is better than Shaq defensively.
I'm not gonna disagree, but I will say this. There's just less opportunities to block shots. That's where I agreed with the 2.5. There's less opportunities to block shots. Shaq's not going to get up for every game defensively. That's known. We know that.
Yeah.
And I just think with the stretched out play a little bit more, I just think there's less opportunities to block shots in the paint. I think if this was a few years prior, I think there's more of a chance for him to get 3 blocks. But I think 2.5 is actually kind of fair. So let's get back to the Thunder. So nice, solid starting 5, right? They tried to get Kevin Martin to replace what Harden did off the bench. And numerically, it looks okay, but there's no playmaking, and he's still making a couple threes. Obviously, where's this team at when it comes to shooting threes? Right in the middle of the pack. They're not too high, not too low.
Yeah.
Which I think will benefit the Lakers.
Yeah.
If you're not going to shoot a lot of threes, that's how you win games against this Laker team, in my opinion.
The biggest issue though with the Lakers is they've never seen someone like Kevin Durant. Like he's legitimately a unicorn in there. To see I know Kobe's a great scorer and everything too. But Kevin Durant is 7 foot, can pull so imagine if they're. It would be very bad for Kevin Durant, but if they do a small ball lineup or something and have Shaq on Durant or something, that could be.
That's the problem. That's where I don't think that'll happen yet because they still have Kendrick Perkins on this team.
Yeah.
And they have Nick Collison, who's a longtime Thunder guy. Both guys known for being more rugged.
Yeah.
Right? So it took a lot out of Scott Brooks to the coach of this team, right? Yeah. Scott Brooks was known for keeping that big man in and never going small. That was kind of one of his downfalls, actually.
Yeah. That's me. This is me putting a battery in the back. I mean, not a battery, but a controller.
A controller up their ass.
Yeah.
As we like to say on this show.
Oh,
man, yet another thing that would make an awesome t-shirt. But anyways, so Kevin Durant, 31 points per game, 9 rebounds, 6.3 assists, a steal and a block a game, shooting 45.5% without Russell Westbrook, mostly, obviously, and 31% from 3, and getting to the line 10 times a game. So scoring monster. They probably put Rick Fox and Horace Grant on him. I think he eats Horace Grant alive. I think Rick Fox Doesn't do like an amazing job, but definitely is the best possible matchup they'll have. Robert Horry is probably a pretty good physical matchup for KD as well. I'd not to say that he's going to not get 30, but like,
yeah, he's getting.
I think they do have physical dimensions to throw at Durant for sure.
Yeah.
More than you might think. Westbrook,
I think still get his average, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Westbrook gives them a lot of problems. Because think about Allen Iverson and the problems that Allen Iverson gave his team in the finals. Yeah. Like Westbrook plays that similar style, but with more hang time and athleticism. Yeah. And he's so angry all the time.
Yeah. I just don't know like if he attacks because Iverson was like that, but he was still very finesse. And Westbrook's more very power. Physical. Yeah, physical. And I don't think you come in at like you can't attack the rim like that when Shaq's there. Like,
but this goes back to what we were kind of talking about a second ago.
But even so, like you're not gonna throw your body at Shaq though. Like you can't.
But you're gonna get Shaq in foul trouble if you do that. Like, and that's big. You want Shaq out of the game. If you can get Shaq in foul trouble, all of a sudden that's a lot easier to fight in terms of a 7-game series.
Yeah.
Like, and if Shaq's gonna that's where this new era, as we go further forward in time, and this is really the first year where we can really talk about this year. If Shaq's going to get physical with these boys, especially the skinny Kevin Durant, when you see Shaq, who's probably got 150 pounds on KD at this point, taking him out and trying to foul him and trying to be physical, maybe you'll intimidate him a little bit, but you have a very high risk of coming out of the game.
Yeah, I just don't know how many
is a problem.
Like how many I just don't think the playoffs is that like in 2013. I still feel like it was decently physical. Like,
oh, I definitely don't. There was so much flopping going on. This is like the era for that.
The Grizzlies, that was a physical series that they had with the Spurs. Even though it was a 5-game series.
The Clippers specifically. The Clippers specifically was physical.
That was yeah.
The Spurs they didn't really do anything with, obviously, by the sweep. But
no, I know, but I think they like that's why I wanted to go back to but we could do that later. There are especially in the West, I felt like the West played more physical in that sense. When you look at the East, I think it was a little bit more.
But there's a big difference between physical 2012, 2013 and physical 2001. Yeah. Things are called the flagrant more in this era and going forward than there were in Shaq's era. So if he comes in with that sort of physicality, the physicality that you and I are both thinking of, the extra shit, the elbows, the fucking.
No, I'm not thinking about. I don't think he can elbow or do anything like that. But I'm thinking like when you going, if Westbrook is trying to like bang with Shaq, like when he's like driving to the rim and putting his body towards Shaq, no matter what, like that's not gonna end well for Westbrook most of the time. Whether it's a foul or not, like there's times that Shaq could very well stop that play from happening. I just think Westbrook takes advantage more with his faking like he's going to the basket and then stopping like randomly for his mid ranges. That was like his like textbook Westbrook. Like he would make everybody think he was gonna drive, and then he stopped right on the not baseline, but like in between baseline and free throw line, just had that easy jump shot, and that's where I think he takes advantage of Fisher and all of them from that.
Shooting 40% from 10 to 16 feet, which is not terrible, but the other ones are pretty rough.
Yeah, for sure.
And 61% at the line. But I will say, or at the rim. But I will say this: textbook Westbrook is a bar, my friend. Textbook Westbrook is a bar, and should be a new nickname for him.
That's what I'm saying. I got you.
Somehow, some way, we got to make
Westbrook. I sell you shirts, man.
That's that's a bar and a half. But I got Lakers in 6. I think Shaq gets to 30 and 14 in terms of points and rebounds.
Yeah.
I don't think Kendrick Perkins has a lot to. I don't think he can do really shit at this stage of his career.
Yeah.
Kendrick Perkins is 28, but after the Celtics, it's just a different guy. There's no getting around it.
After you lose your ACL, can't be the same guy.
That too.
Yeah. Big boy too. Yeah.
And I think they really try to feed Shaq. I don't think Ibaka is big enough to really handle Shaq.
Well, how big is Ibaka? He's like what, 6'10", 280?
He's 6'11", 7 foot, 6'10", 6'10", 235.
I get
no
too
chance.
much weight. Yeah, Shaq's
and that's just the basketball reference rating.
Yeah, that's 4 inches. Shaq's 4 inches taller and probably like got him by 100 pounds. That's crazy.
Yeah. And Kendrick Perkins, 6'10", 270.
That's the scary part about Shaq. Like, when you put him next to other big human beings, he still looks like he's way bigger than you. That's crazy. Yeah. But, I agree with you, though. I think it's going to be a 6-game series. I think the issue with the Thunder, which is surprising, like you'd think with the more talent, I do feel like I think both stars are going to outproduce the other two stars. But I also think that the chemistry is like significantly better with this Laker team than this Thunder team. I think
interesting.
I think because like if it was the year before Thunder gave them another year after making the NBA Finals, I think they go further. I think they actually have a 7-game series with this Laker team because of their youth, and then also Harden being able to take advantage with the bench. But in this case, I feel like because I remember when they added Kevin Martin in, it felt like they was like always trying to blend that in and figure it out.
Yep.
Like it felt like and this felt like that mixing in year, and then he didn't stay with them afterwards, or I don't know what happened in the next years, but they didn't really do much with him. So I do feel like this is unfortunately like the Thunder team before. If we would have had that team for the rest of the decade, they could have been a dynasty, man. But there's
a very high likelihood. But I that's another interesting. That could be its own podcast. Is talking about that specifically.
Imagine them versus the Warriors for the decade. That would have been amazing.
Yeah, it would have. But Kevin Durant just had to go be a pussy. But what do you call it? This is something I didn't notice until this second. 38-year-old Derek Fisher is about to become the head coach of the New York Knicks and use the triangle, right?
Yeah.
I think if there's anybody to give these kids the blueprint on how to deal with the triangle, it would be Derek Fisher, an old Derek Fisher, hypothetical.
Mm-hmm.
And imagine Derek Fisher's looking at himself and then looking at Westbrook and telling Westbrook, just go out there and kill me. Just go destroy. It's fine. I can't guard you, bro. Yeah, I can't guard you, bro. I stand no chance. Think about me in practice, just a little younger. Like it's fine. Like
I'm not that much faster. Trust me.
Yeah, fucking not exactly. But I do think that helps with the 6-game. I do think in this hypothetical scenario, they would have a little bit of a help with that. And Cephalosha and Kobe is a decent matchup, especially when we're talking about size, because he's 6'6", 215. He's the exact same dimensions.
Yeah.
But I think this could be Kobe's stat line right here. I think this is probably accurate. The 24, 25, 6.5 rebounds, 7 assists, and maybe a little bit higher, 43% shooting, but not much. Yeah. Like I think
Kobe
that's probably
averages
pretty close.
28, 6, and 6.
Nah, no way.
I don't think it changes with Cephalosha. He's not that much, but he's not that great of a defender to like.
No, but he's something to give, and I think Kobe's might have his hands full defensively, because I think just like he had to guard AI, I think there's this situation he might get frustrated with Fisher and potentially go at Westbrook, who's what? He's 6'4", right?
Yeah, and that's food. Kobe's locking up Westbrook 100%.
But even if you're right about that, I think that takes away from energy-wise on the other side.
If Lakers, and this we might not have the time for this, but if
we definitely don't have the time for this. I can tell already.
Lakers in 5.
Yeah,
Kobe's
no way.
Westbrook, because I thought, they definitely got outproduced the shit out of this because Kobe locking them up. Westbrook, literally. All right, before we go to the next thing, my bad. Magic Johnson, the year before, while watching a Westbrook game, said, "This is the worst performance I've ever seen from a point guard in the NBA Finals."
I was very disappointed in Russell Westbrook. That was the worst point guard in a championship finals I've ever seen. He was too wild. He was taking off-balance shots. You got to come out and set the tone with Kevin Durant. See what type of defense Miami was going to play against him, JB, then you can always get off, Russell. Russell Westbrook's got to set the tone with Kevin Durant.
Just wanted to say that. And now imagine a great Kobe Bryant, lock-up defender, guarding Westbrook now. He's going to not know what to do with himself. All right.
I just think that takes his points per games down a couple points. Points per games. Points
I feel
per
that.
game
I feel
down
that.
a couple points.
I just need to let Westbrook fans, if there's any of you guys in here, I got to know that 22-year-old Kobe Bryant, 23-year-old Kobe Bryant is locking up a 24-year-old Russell Westbrook. You're welcome.
Lindsay, who you got?
Lakers.
How many games?
I'll agree with you guys on 6.
You think it's it? Well, now he said 5, so.
No, I'm gonna go with 6.
You don't?
Okay.
Do you think Kobe locks up Westbrook?
Yeah.
Thank you. All right.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right. It's like I'm a woman of few words on this one. Fucking.
I mean, I just agreed with what you guys said until Dario switched his mind about the defense, but.
Yeah.
All right, so we are in the Western Conference Finals. We are looking at the 2012-13 San Antonio Spurs, a team that sadly does have some experience against this 0-1 Laker team because a lot of these fuckers are older than dirt on this fucking team. And they fit, and they've definitely played against peak Shaq.
There's only
specifically
one. Specifically,
Tim B.D. Nah, there's a couple here that have played against peak Shaq. Because we were looking at Tony Parker towards the not in 01 maybe
right.
specifically, but Tony
yeah.
Parker was in that conversation. Ginobili was starting to come in the conversation. You know, there's a couple of guys here.
That's true.
A lot of motherfuckers over 30 years old.
Yeah.
6 guys over 30. Tracy McGrady's in here not doing anything. I forgot about that. They carried him to the finals one year.
Yeah.
Talk about ring chasing. He literally signed a contract to sit on the bench. That's fucking wild. But a young Kawhi Leonard, a 21-year-old Kawhi Leonard, who's going to do damage defensively on a lot of guys in the
Not
playoffs.
really this year. It's the next year, I think, though.
You could say that because the media picks it up more, but he's definitely playing good defense at this point in time.
Yeah, but isn't this his first year in the league, I think? First or second?
No, I don't think. I think this is at least his second year. He's 21, so
yeah, I think it's his first or second. I can't remember.
Second year. But a significant bump from year 1 to year 2, specifically with minutes. Playing now 30 minutes a game. Playoffs, that goes to 37 minutes a game. So like he's playing.
I just think like he became a household name in 2014. Like
not disagreeing, but that doesn't mean he's the bad defender in 2012.
Oh yeah. What's his defensive
That's
rating?
my point. That's what I'm getting to right now. So
because 2013, I can't speak too much because we definitely didn't talk about him I remember in 2013
playoffs is 98. He's doing great.
Yeah, yep.
98.
He actually is playing. That's a better defensive rating than Tony Allen, who we just
96
and a better
is his
defensive
lowest
rating.
defensive rating ever in the playoffs.
Yeah, so there you go. He's pretty close. He's leading the defense. Him and Duncan are leading it.
Yeah.
Like underrated duo too between the two of them. Like Duncan on the way down and Kawhi on the way up. Pretty
kind of
cool
makes
little.
sense why Kawhi is so quiet because Duncan was so quiet too.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
You learn from people like that, especially when you're in your formative years.
Yeah, yeah.
See, I think it's again.
It changes that much.
I think it's probably like 25 because again, I see Kobe having to do a lot more on the defensive end with this particular team.
Yeah, I also think that this is one of those. Even though historically Spurs have not been the Shaq attack ones,
right?
I think usually Kobe takes advantage of Spurs, but in this case,
not this time.
They don't have the defense for Shaq, whereas all the other
Tiago Splitter.
Yeah, we remember what Bron did to you. Imagine. Yeah,
facts.
The
great Tiago Splitter, as Stephen A. would like to say. And also you wanted to look and see at that Western Conference Finals whether those games were close.
Yeah, I thought for whatever reason I remember them being close games, but I might be wrong.
83-105, 89-93. That's close. This is within 9. They're all pretty much within 10, except for the game 1.
Yeah.
The thing with this is like Duncan this year as we saw in the NBA Finals, would have these random moments where he would just turn the clock back hard.
Yeah.
Like, he'd pick his spots and he'd go, oh, you guys need 2004 Duncan? All right. 38 or 36 and 10, whatever.
Yeah.
40 minutes on the court. Like,
yeah.
And he could just turn it up. I don't think he can do it for 4 games against Shaq.
Oh, for sure not. And
I think if it got to a game 6, I think if it gets to a game 6, it's going to go 7 for that reason.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I might have Lakers in 7 here just for that. And because of the great ball movement.
Yeah.
But I do think the duo is too much. For sure.
I do think that both of these teams actually in the playoffs, and Spurs definitely more, but I think both of these teams are very good ball movement teams. Especially like in that run, they were moving the ball, and that's why you saw the 92, the offensive, the pace was 92, and they were going faster. Is because they were moving the ball more during that playoff run. That was like an actual thing, and so I think they can compete with the Spurs when it comes to moving the ball, and it's not going to just feel like even though it will be a Shaq Kobe thing, I think it's going to be more Shaq for sure, because Shaq's going to just dominate.
Has to be, I think.
Yeah. I still think I really do think Kobe could give him 28, but I don't feel like he has to. I think Shaq could give you, especially it's going to be Western Conference Finals. Shaq could give you a nice 45, not average 45. 35, I'm at 35 and 15, easy.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. I have Kobe at the same thing I had him against the Thunder, where it's like 24, 25 points, and then like a lower field goal percentage, but higher assists. I just think he's going to be passing more because they're going to have to, especially against this team that's going to move the ball all over the fucking court. Like, that's going to get infectious. It's going to have to get infectious. Like, they're gonna want to move the ball more, and they're gonna want to show that the triangle is the better, more superior offense. And I think there's just no answer for Shaq here. I don't think 36-year-old Duncan stands a chance, except for maybe one game. But I do think the ball movement keeps the series itself close. What are they doing with 3-point shooting? That's the other thing I wanted to see.
I don't think one thing about Greg Pop is I don't think he never really took advantage of the 3-ball until like more so recently. The Spurs never have been like a huge 3-point shooting team, I don't think.
So, but their ball movement had a lot of open threes, like just in their system.
Yeah.
And let's see, Spurs
shot 37%.
Right. So they're top 5 in shooting.
Lakers,
yeah, but they're taking more. They're taking 20.
No, yeah, of course.
And they're making 8. Which
what is the Lakers shooting? They're shooting 16,
100 points a game. Yeah, they're shooting 16. They're making 6.1. I think I got that committed to memory at this point. So
there's not really that much of an advantage. There's only a 3, so it's 3 points more because the Spurs are averaging 1 3 more a game.
But I think,
and I wouldn't say that the Lakers shoot more threes at this time because you don't have that huge jump with the 3-point line yet. That's why like Lakers literally.
There are some teams
16.
that are doing it though. There are some teams that are doing it. You can see it already.
Yeah, you saw the 33. I think the Rockets had like 33 threes or something like that. But like what I'm saying is you could see a team like 01 Lakers. They weren't like the greatest 3-point shooting team, but they still averaged 16 shots a game. And the 2013 Spurs, who literally went to the NBA Finals, averaged 21 threes a game. So it wasn't a huge jump for the next 10 years, you know?
Yeah, you know what? I take it back. They can't go 7. They got to go 6. I don't think they could go 7. I just don't. I don't see it happening. I just don't. I would need a couple of legendary 6 games from Duncan.
Yeah,
I'd need it.
I just think there's no hope for like anybody guarding Shaq in that team. Like it's gonna be too much for Duncan, and I don't even know if he could give you one of those legendary games if he has to deal with Shaq, because he didn't have to.
Agree.
He didn't have that with the people
he had Chris Bosh.
Next year with exactly. That's what I was just about to say.
Fucking Chris
Bosh.
So
I definitely think it's 6. It might even be 5 if Kobe start wilding too, but I know you're gonna think you're gonna temper your thing. I personally think Kobe has a thing against the Spurs because even afterwards, after the whole Shaq is gone, everything, Kobe would dick down the Spurs, and I felt like it's because he had something against the Spurs. That was his rivalry in his mind.
Yeah,
it was
for sure.
The Spurs, and so
Duncan,
he would always butt fuck them, and
But this particular 2001 Kobe was very much like, and especially 2001 playoff Kobe, which is what makes them so great.
I'm down to do whatever's needed for the team to win.
Yeah.
And I don't think he gets as selfish as he would previously.
All right, so we are looking at the 2013 NBA Finals. The 0001 LA Lakers versus the 66-16 27-game win streak Miami Heat, led by LeBron James. LeBron, who in the finals, I think it's important to start talking about specific finals numbers here. In the finals, LeBron averaged 25, 11, and 7, 2.3 steals, and basically a block a game. 45% shooting, 35% from 3, 80% from the line. Wade was 20 points, 4 rebounds, 4.5 assists, over a block a game, which is kind of crazy considering how bad his knees were, and 2 steals a game. And Chris Bosh was getting you also 2 steals a game. So they are trying to, the main goal of this Heat team and what this team was predicated on was transition play.
Yeah.
Get steals, get turnovers, turn it into scores on the other side. Every single night. That's what they were fucking about. And then they would have guys like Shane Battier come in and do work. Mario Chalmers come in, 40% from 3. Obviously, Raymundo Allen, 55% from 3. I'm just changing all their names right now. Excuse me. They're making them. I'm Miamifying them.
Yeah, I guess. This is when they did that stupid ass the Harlem Shake thing too. That's when they had the Shaq and Kobe about to eat them alive.
Fucking okay, you go first. You go first.
Barbecue chicken in the paint, boy. All right, so I got the Lakers in 5, and that's mainly because I think Shaquille O'Neal is averaging like 40 to 45 points. Because that's not unusual because I know I'm liking that song today, guys, but that's not unusual in the finals for Shaq, right? Because he averaged 38 when he went against one of the shittiest centers in was it Jersey or no? I think he did the 38 against the Philly. I think it's this year. He does 38.
No. Right? I literally have his final stats up right in front of you. Right.
Oh, sorry. What he did against the Pacers? I think that's what he did. 38.
He did. Yeah. And he also shot 39 free throws in a game. That happened.
Yeah. So I think he eats them alive like he can. He definitely can do that to this Heat team. They don't have any big men to stop Shaq from doing anything. So that same stat line looks like what he might do.
Okay.
And then the issue is Dwayne Wade isn't Dwayne Wade.
True.
Right? Because especially in this, we went through this in LeBron's legacy breakdown. Check that out in our archives. Dwayne Wade, throughout games, he was missing some games. Sometimes he will pop up and he'll be Dwayne Wade, and then sometimes
similar to Duncan.
Yes, exactly.
But younger.
But Wade's 31. So now you're at the NBA Finals. These are the last 7 games in the season. You got a very young Kobe Bryant that's gonna look to attack you. And I don't think they got any. I don't think an old Ray Allen could guard Kobe. I think Wade will be their primary defender on Kobe.
First of all, I don't think he's starting. No, he's not starting. It would probably be
Ray Allen. No, I know, but I'm saying
it would be Wade.
Shane Battier is another one. Sorry,
it would be Battier. It would definitely be Battier going up against Kobe for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So I think they'd rotate though. It would be Wade. It would be Wade and
there's
Battier,
bodies.
For sure.
There's bodies. Yeah.
You're
right.
And you got, and I think nobody can stop Shaq. Like this is gonna
unfortunately.
It's not even close.
The biggest guy on their team is, drum roll, do they have a 7-footer? I like this. I like playing this game when we have Shaq.
Yeah.
Let's play. Do they have a 7-footer? No.
Oh, wait. No, but this guy, he at least weighs 300 pounds. He's somebody you could throw at
Dexter
him.
Pittman, he's not playing. He's just playing. And Shaq is going to dunk on him, and while dunking on him, go, oh, Birdman, Birdman. Birdman. While he dunks on him.
Shaq will 100% do that to Bird. Yes. That's hilarious.
Even 2001 Shaq, 100%. Dunks on him, 100%. And then in the media, he'll be like, oh, Birdman? He can't guard me. You have to fly away with his bird ass. Fuck him.
I'm sorry. Yeah. And I respect LeBron. That's why I'm giving LeBron the one game. But I think that's going to be a hard time for them.
Because they definitely don't have anybody to guard Bron.
Yeah. Yeah. Bron could do whatever he wants, but you got to put up at least 70 points, I think, because I think Shaq could give you 40, and I think Kobe can still give you 30. I mean, if Bron is guarding Kobe,
I just think.
Yeah.
I just think if one guy
literally bugged out, Kobe Bryant.
Look at the NBA Finals. When Shaq goes off, Kobe doesn't get more than 25. That's how it happens. Like it's just there's a matter of points on the board.
Kobe definitely did it here.
26.8. Like it's not. He's not getting 30. This is my point. He's not getting 30. He's gonna do this, and his assists are gonna go off.
Yeah, but
which is great. What's wrong with that?
What is that? 63 points again? That's not far from the 70. You make it seem like I just said something completely insane.
70's a lot. I just don't think.
I think there is games that they could. I could see.
Yeah, there's definitely games where that could happen.
Yeah, and LeBron's not gonna be able to counteract that. That's gonna he could do a 40-point triple-double, and that's still not gonna be enough.
Probably not. Do you think hacking a Shaq could help them win games?
Yeah, 100%. But
I think so too.
Yeah, that'll make that could. I'll add a game for that. Six game. I do think this Miami Heat team is a top 10, 15, maybe top 10 team in NBA history. I don't think they're like a really bad team. I just feel like that matchup is not the greatest.
And they're also not getting to the free throw line at a super aggressive level.
Yeah.
I just I'm not disagreeing that they're going to be beaten. I just think the Miami Heat, when we're talking about team chemistry, they have pretty damn good team chemistry at this point.
For sure.
They do. They definitely do. And the 0-1 Lakers also do in the playoffs for sure.
Yeah.
And so I got them. Yeah, I think 5 is probably pretty fair.
Yeah, Shaq is just too much of a matchup nightmare, especially.
But this goes to my point. This era sucks. Like this just goes to my point. This era is trash. The best possible team you can give me is going to go 5.
Bro, the Pacers were a good team in this era, and they're trash.
They're trash. Yeah, we know. That's why we always talk shit about that Eastern Conference. When it was happening, we were doing it. But it's everything. People used to say the West was stacked. The West is not stacked. The West sucks.
There's a legitimate 4 or 5 teams that are good in the West in this season. We talked about multiple teams that we could go against, and we had options. If it was the East, we wouldn't have had that many options. We would have been
this team with
Miami,
no superstars. This team with no superstars is 3rd and dominated during the regular season. There's just none of these teams in closing here. None of these teams could handle this fucking 0-1 Lakers team. None of them. The Grindhouse is your best bet. Think about that.
But that's because of structure. I don't think it's.
It could be about anything.
100%.
It's just crazy.
Fully because of talent. I think it's just the structure of how the teams are built. If we would have had good big men, I think that there's more competition there. But
woulda, coulda, shoulda.
No, of course, but that just goes to where as we keep on going forward, we're always going to say this, all right, what's going to happen with Shaq? Is the only issue is now Shaq's going to have to counteract the 3-point line, which that makes it way harder. Now Shaq is at a disadvantage because he's only scoring 2 points when other people are scoring 3. So
and now the elite teams are getting there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Lindsay, what do you got for the NBA Finals? Oh wow, okay. So you're saying more along the lines of instead of saying 5 games, it'd be more comfortable for you to say gentleman's sweep.
Yeah, I get it.
So you giving them the next year's Spurs treatment? How they beat the Spurs beat the shit out of the Heat?
Yeah,
It's pretty much gonna be like that. Damn, I don't think that. That's crazy.
This old Spurs team took them 7.
But that Spurs team is legit though. Like I really do think that team is a legit
and the Lakers
team though.
doused them in 5 or 6. Like
yeah, that's true. But
this is my point. This is my point. Yeah. I hate this era. I'm sad that it was the era that I was most obsessed with basketball. In hindsight, like I'm pretty obsessed with basketball now. But when I was in college, this is all I did. This is all I fucking did.
Yeah.
And I feel sad that we were treated to this dog shit. Instead of, I wish we were in college now with all these superstars and fucking everybody putting up 70 every night. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Lakers completely dominate 12-13. I think this might be the last year going forward where something like this happens, and we roll on, we roll into the era of the Dubs.
That's true. The Dubs.
The Dubs.
Let us know if you agreed with our suggestions in the comment section, as you guys do.
Yeah, if you have a year in particular you want us to take over or take on, bring this team to, let us know. Maybe we'll throw it in there.
For sure.
Fucking, it's a lot. But
and answer our poll on who the hell we're going to do next.
Hey guys, if you like what you heard, be sure to check out our YouTube channel. Just type in Apex Greatness on YouTube to see everything we put out this year. From legacy breakdowns to current NBA and NFL content. We have over 150 videos to binge if you're that type of person, or just to listen to in your spare time. We have about 2 to 5 hours of new content every week. Check us out. Later.